Hi there. So today we're going to look at a simple Leetcode question. Remove element. Let's dive in. This is number 27 on Leetcode. Given an integer array nums and an integer value, remove all occurrences of that value in nums in place. So we have to mutate the array. The order of elements may be changed, then return the number of elements in nums, which are not equal to val. So we need to strip out val from the array, but we can't make copies of stuff. Consider the number of elements in nums, which are not equal to val, be k, to get accepted. So when this question gets validated, k needs to be the number of right elements, and we can have any sort order of the elements that we left behind, the elements that aren't equal to val. Before we jump into code, let's do a quick visual run through to see how you can tackle this question. Okay, so first thing we want to do in here is initialize a variable k. This is the k we're going to return from our function to 0. Now, let's add a color code of orange onto this variable, and we start off at this index. Next, we're going to create a loop over a variable I. So we start out at the same index with both of these variables. Now, all we do is we just say, if the variable and index I is not equal to val, then we want to put it at the index of k. So in this scenario, the variable at index of I, blue, is 3. So that means that we don't want to do anything because it equals to val. Next thing we do is we increment I. Okay, so I now equals 1. Let's move this index on. Now we go and evaluate this value at index 1 of the array. This does not equal val, so we actually want to keep it. And all we do is we say nums k equals that value. K is still 0, so we go and overwrite the value at k with the value that we've got at I, which in this case is 2. So that value was overwritten. Now we want to increment both k and both I. We'll increment I at each loop. So k becomes 1 and I becomes 2. And as you can see here, I've updated the color coding on our arrays. Now we go and check the value at index I again. This time around, it's 2. So that's not equal to val. We want to keep it. So we just go and override the value at index k with the value at index I. Even though it's the same number, let's just do it. It's 2. Now let's increment our numbers again. K goes to 2 and I goes to 3. Okay, so those values are updated. I've also updated our indicators there in the array. Now we go and see the value at index I is 3. That equals to val. So we don't want to keep it. And we just go on with our loop and increment I. Because I is bigger than our indexes in our array, we exit our condition. So we'll return k equals 2. And you'll notice that 0, 1, meaning the first 2 items in our array, matching k, is valid. None of them are equal to 3. We don't care what happens to these items after that. Now we're going to apply that logic in code. Firstly, we assign k with a value of 0. Then we just do a normal loop. We say let I equals 0. We want to loop while I is less than nums.length. And we want to increment it every time. Cool. So we just want to say if nums I not equal to val, then we want to keep it. Remember, we use the index of k, and we set that to the value in question at index I. Now, because we've used up the index k, we want to increment that. Afterwards, we just return k. Could it be that simple? Let's run it and have a look. Seems all our test cases passed. Let's submit this. All right, so we've got a solution. Very easy question, but as I've said before in my other videos, I don't think there is anything such as a simple Leetcode question. Let's talk about big O for this one. Well, we're looping through this array one item at a time. We're not looping through an item and then looping with an inner loop or anything like that. It's just O of n. Your complexity in terms of computation will increase linearly based on the sample size given to the algorithm. There you have it. This was a super simple one. You'll be very, very lucky if you get this in an interview question. I doubt it, but you never know. As always, don't forget to like this video and please subscribe to my channel. See you next time.